Hey guys, Heath here, Shepherd's Forge. I figured, as depressing as the last video was that I made, and I apologize for that, but you can imagine that's a pretty dark place to be in. On Friday, I went and saw had my surgical consult and biopsy. And by the way, if you've never had a biopsy, don't. It doesn't matter how much they numb you up, it's still painful. And I was spitting blood for hours. They took 2 samples. Basically, what's going on. And by the way, let me just get this out of the way right now. I'm gonna live. I'm gonna go through hell. But my cancer is removable. And it all started for me smoking. That's where it came from. So I'm not going to lecture anybody out there who's a smoker, because I've been doing it since I was 15 years old. But I can tell you that this is one of the scariest things I've ever been through. And now is the time to quit, guys. The cancerous lesion on my tongue. It's called an ischemia cancer, and it's a tumor. It's a cancerous tumor. It started on my tongue, and started moving back towards my lymph node gland, right here. Well, there's a bunch of lymph node glands right here. There's a bunch down here. And they're tiny. There's a bunch of them. They're clustered together. Like there's like 13 or 14 right here. That's where it moved back to. And basically that's where I started seeing all the weight loss. When cancer moves into like your glands, your body reacts by speeding up your metabolism, trying to fight this thing off. And me already having a super hyper metabolism, there was no way I was going to keep up. My surgeon was just like, dude, I can tell you're a pretty hyper guy. I mean, at work they call me 100-mile-an-hour Heath. The minute my feet touch the floor, I'm go. And being that my metabolism was already really high, there was no way I was going to keep my weight up. It just wasn't going to happen. My body just kicked everything into hyperdrive and was like, there's a problem, we got to fight this, this is how we're doing it. So I got that explanation, so that was nice. My surgeon graduated top of his class, top 10% of his class at Harvard Med. I'm in good hands. He's been doing this for 22 plus years. I'm taking part in an experimental study with a chemo drug, 2 doses before my surgery, that is supposed to reduce the size of the tumor. It costs my insurance nothing. The hospital's paying for all of it. I just have to participate. It's a good study. She told me, she's like, we're giving you a really low dose. So it's not going to mess me up too bad. It's a low dose, but what they did was they took a double biopsy on my tongue. They cut away 2 pretty good sized chunks of the cancer in my tongue. One goes to pathology, where they establish, okay, this is the cancer that the surgeon predicted it was, and then they go to the, I don't want to say this wrong, and I'm sorry, there was so much information. There's a lot to remember. They go to the cancer tumor board and review the findings, and then if my surgeon was correct in all of his findings, they say, yes, go ahead, this is the procedure you need to take, you're spot on, go ahead, follow through. The other piece of biopsy is going to this lab, where this new um, this new type of, I don't want to call it a drug, but it's a new chemo type thing, that is supposed to reduce the tumor before a surgery. So I'm going to end up with 2 or 3 doses of that, and it's an all-day process that they, it's all intravenous and everything. And they're going to pay me for it because it's a study. And this is not to help me in any way. This is to help other people down the road who are coming into the same problems that I have. And if I can help somebody with this study, you're damn right I'm doing it. How could I not? How selfish. I couldn't do it. My sister's like, look, I reviewed all the paperwork. She's like, they're going to pay you for it. Your insurance isn't getting charged anything for it. They're not going to dispute it. The hospital pays for everything. The side effects are really on the low side, especially with the dose that I'm getting. I'm like, yeah, if I can help somebody, I will. So what they're going to do is they're going to take that little piece of cancer that they cut out of my tongue. They're going to put it in a mouse. And they're going to make sure that mouse gets that cancer. And then they are going to give it the same dose of chemo, this new chemo drug that they're giving me, and they're going to watch how that tumor reacts, whether it stays the same, whether it shrinks, blah, blah, blah. And then sadly for the mouse, they kill it, dissect it, and do what they need to. I got to name the mouse. Yeah, I got to name the mouse. And I'm not going to go into too much detail, but I had to name it after the most cancerous human being I've ever had to cut out of my life. And we're going to leave it at that. Oh, revenge is sweet. Even though she may never know it. Revenge is sweet. And best served cold. Anyway, so not to get too dark there. So there's that. So I have to go through these 2 or 3 bouts of this new chemo before my surgery. I was under the impression that this surgery would be like we cut it out, you go home. I clearly didn't grasp the concept of how serious my situation is. I'm going to be in the hospital for between 3 and 5 days. It's kind of a serious thing. I could be out of work for 3 months. Because I'm going to do the chemo, the surgery, and then I've got radiation treatment after that. But the way my surgeon came at me was like, basically he looked at, all my blood panel, my blood workup and everything. He's like, you are healthy as hell. Despite being a heavy drinker and a smoker since the age of 15, apparently I'm in really good shape. He's like, because we're going to go at this super aggressive. He's like, you're going to go through 3 months of hell. He's like, I'm not going to lie to you. It's going to be hell. You're not going to be a happy person. But we're going to get this out of you. And in the long run, you're going to come out on top. So I guess I just have to be thankful for that. Um, I'm not sure how I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna have to start pulling some money out of my retirement fund um, to make ends meet, which is fine. I've got more than enough of my retirement to pull out of and be able to take 3 months off of work if needed, and I'll be all right. Um, just not really something you want to do. You know, I don't have any short-term or long-term disability. I just don't have it. Um, so that's kind of where I'm at, guys. Um, it's not actually lymphoma cancer. I just, it hasn't infected my, it hasn't like taken over and started spreading to other places. I saw my CT scan. Um, yeah, I got like a golf ball size cancer growing like in my lymph node gland, but it hasn't like spread to a bunch of the others. There's a whole bunch of glands there apparently, but it's bad enough they have to take everything out of there, all the glands, everything. He's like, man, if I leave one cancer cell, he's like, and that's why we come in with radiation afterwards. Because I did a little research, I did a little YouTube watching. One guy he was a military guy, and he explained it in a way that really made sense to me. Is that um, basically the surgery is like coming in with an airstrike and just bombing the, pardon my French, the shit out of a city. So you take out a lot of your major problems right there. He's like, and then you send in tanks and boots on the ground to go in and clear that city. He's like, that's your radiation. Just to make sure you take care of all the problems. So you don't leave a little bit left behind. So that's the radiation. But like I said, I was going to take you guys along for the ride. This is the update. I got a bunch of appointments coming up. I got to do a bunch of lab work this Wednesday. That's going to be an all-day thing. My first dose of this new chemo is going to be on the 17th. My second dose is going to be on the 22nd. And then after that will be my surgery. So yeah, I got a pretty full schedule. But I will keep you guys up to date, man. I'm feeling pretty confident. I'm scared as hell. Don't get me wrong. Don't think for 1 second that I'm not like shaking down to the bone. Pardon me. And I am in pain. The worst part is like, I love to cook. I love to eat. When I'm stressed, I cook. I made from scratch bison enchiladas, bison bacon jalapeno enchiladas, enchilada sauce from scratch today. I did some bruschetta bun, ham, Swiss, and breaded and deep fried jalapenos sandwiches. That's how I deal with stress. I cook. So yeah, I've been pretty stressed out. I'm in pain, and yeah, my doctor was nice enough to, give me pain pills, which I hate taking, and I don't unless I'm ready to go to bed. Basically, that's the worst part of it, is like trying to sleep. I wake up and I feel this golf ball in my neck. I go to bed, I feel this golf ball in my neck. And then I got this tumor on the side of my tongue, which makes it difficult to eat. Well, this golf ball in my neck makes it difficult to swallow. So, I'm having trouble on every spectrum. Thankfully, yeah, he gave me some pain pills, which I just take one before I go to bed so that I can actually get a decent night's sleep. Otherwise, I've only been getting like 3 or 4 hours of sleep, and a lot of that has to do with stress and the pain. But today I slept till friggin' 9:30 after taking one of them pills. Apparently, I needed it. So, anyway, guys, that's my update. I'll come back at you with more when I got some. All right. Thank you for being there for me. Thank you for supporting me. Thank you for being my friend. I appreciate all the positive comments. I'm in a scary place, but I'm going to get better. Just thank you so much. Thank you to the YouTube community that is so supportive and so kind. And to all of you who have been, your comments have just been so kind. Thank you. Thank you very much, and God bless you all. I appreciate all your thoughts and prayers and keeping me in your heart. I really do. So, Heath, Shepherd's Forge, have a good night, guys.